Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the boy Yahweh Shemel Shai, Washem Kodash. Call Halalim Yahweh Shemel Shai, Washem Kodash. That's in the ancient Hebrew, saying all praises to Yahweh in the name of Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Yahweh is the correct name for the God of the Bible, who the world ignorantly call Jehovah, God, Yahweh. His son's true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. So the true name for the God of the Bible in the Hebrew is Yahweh. His son's true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai. I want to give the honors and to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And shalom to all the brothers and more pushing His word in sincerity and in truth to all that believe in this gospel. Shalom. This lesson, I'm going to walk and talk to the spirit and poetry about Shemel Shai. Watching the video with the apostle to our we were after the camp Saturday. We were going on into Genesis 2, and asked questions regards like the rivers, was around the Fertile Crescent, so to speak, under Israel. And as the scripture for it as implant a garden eastward in Eden, basically that's where the Adamites ruled the earth. And brothers, I say brothers because me personally, I name him a couple of them either. And these are things we know, but we have to go over them, because our duty is to teach. And the apostle was a good question. We say one like vocab come up 1 week, I was supposed to be defenders of the gospel, So this is just an exhortation to the hopeful look of the Hakim, stay up our game. And I remember everything, but certain things we need to work on. Speaking to myself as well. This is Hebrews chapter 2 verse 1. Therefore we ought to give the more earnest heed to things, to the things which we have heard, lest at any time we should let them slip. So the scripture so we're supposed to take heed to these things, and basically apply them and go over them. Else, them go slip. It's like a skill. If you don't do it for a long while, you're going to get cold, and you lose a skill. But if you constantly go over it, constantly practice, practice becomes perfect, And even like I find brothers most can testify this as well. Find ourselves quoting precepts. I like we sit down and say we want to learn to recite the precept here, but by constantly going over it over and over and over and reading the same precept over and over and over, it stick. So it's the same with the breakdowns. We're supposed to constantly go over them, and we even do lessons on them, over and over and over, and it will stick. So we have to keep up to date with the doctrine. Verse 2 it says, let's leave it there. Let's make them slip, The scripture also says this when I go to 3 precepts on deck. 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 15. Study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh. So we have to study. We learn from the elders and apostles. So we have to take in them videos, pull up the BLB, history recount, search. And we have life easy now. Guys, seeing the work that they had put in, and we just come watch 2 video, go back over what them go over, because we do research, somebody searched out before, But just research it, just go over, oh yeah, see it be true, and then we even tell you where the documents then come from, or just go over and search it ourselves, Guys, you say prove all things, and that's how we go really believe, when you research it out ourselves. So it's a study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that needed not to be ashamed. Right, so we don't want when certain confrontation come up, we'll be ashamed when we don't know the doctrine, we don't understand certain things and get confounded. We definitely don't want that. Right? So it's a workman that needed not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. And that's by going into words, definition, knowing the scripture, around it. Alright, again, as the apostle say, yo, we're not gonna know like certain fine details. Like I think him raised the question like the age of Bathsheba, like we don't know that. You see me? Because these are things that's significant to the doctrine. I mean, somebody asks what the age of Bathsheba, I don't know. You see me? I don't do salvation, yo. But if needs be that they come up, we can Google it. But in some way we're expected, to know. But certain things we're supposed to know, right? Like let's say what the word Mark being in the book of Revelation, in book of Revelation 13. I mean that a part of the doctrine supposed to have an understanding of the words Gentile, and the type of Gentiles that the scripture refer to, because again that's part of the doctrine. So certain things we're supposed to know. And we say ourselves that we are Hebrew Israelite, we're supposed to know certain basic Hebrew. That's saying we're going to be fluent in it, but we're supposed to study, and part of the doctrine, and knowing certain Hebrew word, break them down, I have one more precept here. This is Proverbs 15 verse 28. It said, the heart of the righteous studieth to answer, but the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things. So we're supposed to study, so we can give an answer. As scripture says, we're supposed to be apt to teach and be ready. Scripture says, if a man come to it, see me can just get a quick search. Let's do that. Not find it right now, so I'm just quote it. Scripture say we're supposed to be ready to make give answer and to a man. So I try to get it, but really can't remember the words, and again at times you type the word and you still not pull it up. But I was basically saying something like roughly paraphrasing. We're supposed to be ready to give answer if a man asks me a question pertaining to the faith. Like you see a Hebrew Israelite, how you be Hebrew Israelite and you're born in Jamaica. Alright, so born in Jamaica, now have nothing to do with my nationality, my race. And you bring them prophecies, they go back to Deuteronomy 28, tell them the prophecies say, them simple breakdown. Supposed to be proficient in those, because again those are Israelite 101. Right, there's another precept here come to mind in the book of Sirach 39 and 1, and the scripture say a man wisdom cometh by opportunity of leisure. So a part of us learning is devoting time to reading, time to studying. We have to have that time. We'll get one-to-one with Sophia, which is wisdom. This is Ecclesiasticus 39 verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies. So occupy. That is your word, that is your main focus. Your time spent up in the gospel. Even me, coming to the CAO, unfortunately, kind of, lag back as well, but, exaltation to all of us, because me doing this lesson, but me even more, when we just come in this video, how hype on video, I have a lot of time, I never work back then, but hours spent, reading, studying, watching videos, going into the doctrine, if soak it all up, a book on watching the elders them breakdowns on the books, the chapters of Revelation, and then when you still have sign at the end of the world behind them and them thing there, but these are things where we're constantly, because we know the doctrine, it's not like we don't know it, but then we slip. certain things we sleep if we don't go over them. You know, we're constantly going over them. And from my short experience, I recognize that brothers when we see more more verse in the scripture, or more let's use the word hype for lack of a better term. You know, brothers were constantly occupied in it, yo. You find them, they, like for example, if a topic come up in the spirit, vocabulary, brothers do less upon it. Them see normally, you know, them grow because they are always, you know, occupying in the scriptures, and practice become perfect. He says, he will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also, you know, taking heed to the apostles and elders, you know, right? It says he will seek out the secrets of the grave sentences and be conversant in dark parables. He shall serve among great men and appear before the princes. He will travel through strange countries, for he had tried the good and the evil among men. You know, so that's a lesson really. Exaltation to the full, like, you know, go see even me more. Let's see, you know, buckle up, you know, and stay in the spirit and study. You know, to know these things so can as possible defend of the gospel. You know, we can't make certain topic come up and, you know, we could get confounded on things we're supposed to know. Alright, so I hope this lesson is relevant to like out there. You know, I praise to report how about Shema Shai, about Shem Kalkodash, the 102 elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to go full like Shalom.